Hey, everybody. Welcome to this edition of HWR's Survivor Series picks for 2015, which is this Sunday. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head. As always, I have the hardcore crew here with me. First, he's my sidekick. He's my partner. He's the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, what's up?
I'm doing fine. This is take 3, by the way, for those of you who are listening.
Yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties. We were doing live until Skype fucked up and screwed up the whole thing. So now we are now doing pre-recorded. Now I'd like to move over things to my good friend, the comparable Lance Moss. You're over at Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's up?
I'm doing better than Charlie Sheen.
And he's the wrestling gamer over at WG. He's over from WGS TV. He's the wrestling gamer, Billy Boudreaux. Billy, what's up?
I'm hunting unicorns.
I bet you are. And then I'd like to welcome back for a long time. We haven't heard of these guys. They are the HWI tag team. He's MVP Will, and of course his friend from the Big Easy, James. Guys, what's up?
All I know is, James, you know what happened in Washington? You like that? You like that?
Hush you grass hating fan.
And HWR folks, I am back, so let's get this one started on a fresh note.
Yeah, James finally let Will out of his basement.
Heck, I was trapped in the basement. What did he do?
Well, all right, let's get back on track, guys. I want to talk about first the tag match, the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family. This is pretty much one of the main matches. It's probably, as always, they usually have like a semi-main match, so I just hope it's not going to be the final. It's the Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatts. If I have to see who's winning this one, it's a toss-up for me because I think the Wyatts should win it. The Undertaker and Kane should pass the torch, but unfortunately, I see the Brothers of Destruction winning this one. Andy, your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Kane and Undertaker, but at the end of the day, all I'm going to say is WWE, why have a big feud and then make the people who are causing the feud to lose? Because it's pretty obvious in my eyes the Undertaker and Kane ain't going to lose.
You know, and I have to agree with you. And unfortunately, the Wyatts, they haven't really. They've lost a lot of like the wars. They've won battles, but they've never won the war. Do I think this match, could go on to the next pay per view? I don't know. Undertaker's hasn't been known to do a lot of matches this year. He's been doing more matches this year, but he's not been known to do pay per view after pay per view after pay per view in a long time. So that's just my guess. Will, over to you.
Well, as much as I liked last Monday night, I'm about to go with the Brothers of Destruction, but don't be surprised if Bray Wyatt does a little something at the end, but the brothers will win.
All right, James, over to you.
We haven't picked. We don't know who's the two members of the Wyatts that gonna be in that match. I say it's gonna be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, but I'm gonna say the Brothers of Destruction are gonna be the winners of the match.
Yeah,
because it's 25 years of Taker. They type up 25 years of Taker too much.
Yeah, I think that was a big obvious thing, and of course, we don't know which two of the Wyatts are going to be in there, but make no mistake, there's going to be all four in the ring. Lance, would you agree or disagree?
Oh, definitely. Especially after the end of it, the Brothers of Destruction could pick up the win by disqualification, but it's still a win.
And that's a very valid point. It may not be. I don't see a clean win happening, unless if they want to push the story all the way to maybe Royal Rumble. Right now with the way Taker's been at, coming around a lot more. You really don't know what the situation is. Billy, your thoughts?
It's 25 years of Undertaker. It's obvious, but the key thing is something that James did really bring up. There is that unknown factor, that unknown variable of which combination of the Wyatt family will be in the match. Will it be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman? Will it be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, or will it be Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, or Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan, or would be Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman? We don't know. There's like several different possibilities WWE could play out, and it all necessitates on which pairing are they going to use for the Wyatt family. But it's almost really hands-on. It's really well known that if the main focus of the storyline is Bray Wyatt,
Hurricane
Wyatt, as you said, he has to be in the match because it has to be part of the main focus of the match.
All right. Well, let's move on to this the semifinals. The first match of the two is Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. I see Owens going all the way to the finals, and we'll talk a little bit more about the outcome of that one. Andy, who do you see winning, Ambrose or Owens?
Kevin Fatboy Owens.
All right, Billy, who do you see winning in this one?
Dean Ambrose, and it's just for the pure speculation of the internet rumors of Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns for the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also when they did that promo on Raw, it was making things a little too obvious. Lance, your thoughts?
Lunatic Fringe all the way.
All right. MVP. Who do you see winning out of this one?
I would have liked to see Owens fight, but like you mentioned, that Raw promo kind of WWE logic. I got Ambrose, sadly, but let's go Dean.
All right. James, over to you.
Dean Ambrose.
Well, it's right across the board. And, again, they're making things a little too obvious, but I think with the last-minute changes after Seth Rollins got injured, I think they had a little choice. We only have 5 matches. We don't even know what the other 2 are. But let's move on. Roman Reigns is going to be facing Alberto Del Rio to get into the semifinals. Again, Roman Reigns is going to be winning this. So, we're going to see Roman Reigns most likely in Dean Ambrose. That's so far the way it seems to be looking. Andy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it's got to be Roman Reigns, but I don't know if you're going to do a Roman Reigns. No, I'll leave it till you do the Roman Reigns bit.
All right, Billy, Roman Reigns or Alberto Del Rio?
Roman Reigns, again, for like I said earlier, the whole internet rumors and the scenarios that they could play out. There are two scenarios that could play out, which would necessitate a Dean Ambrose heel turn. The first scenario would be a clean match with a clean finish, with Roman Reigns winning the championship and Dean Ambrose in a fit of rage and jealousy attacking Roman Reigns from behind, therefore severing the full brothership. So that way it's basically the full breakup of the Shield, and basically you would have Dean Ambrose as heel without joining the Authority. The other method, the other way to turn Dean Ambrose heel in this match, and if they want to put the title on him as a heel, would be the most obvious thing: have Dean Ambrose join the Authority.
Well, again, that's been more of the internet rumors.
The thing people need to know, though, it all necessitates on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose being in the finals.
Well, again, we're pretty much, I think we're all in agreement that that's going to wind up being the scenario. And I do see Roman Reigns winning, but I don't see, here's the heel. I'm going to go against the grain and say that, maybe Ambrose and, Roman Reigns are just going to show respect after the match, so I don't see, the heel turn despite the rumors. Is it possible? Yes, but is it likely? I'm going to say no. Will, over to you.
Well, me and Billy don't see eye to eye much, but I have to agree only because they want to put the direction on Roman, and this is what the WWE Universe basically wants. So I have Reigns, hands down.
Hey, if you want to eat hamburgers naked, hey, that's you. Don't get me into it.
Moving on, Lance, your thoughts, picks.
Well, now that I have to get that image out of my head, I'm gonna go with Reigns to make to the finals, but Dean Ambrose wins after he joins the Authority, and circa 1999, the Deadly Games pay-per-view, the Lunatic Fringe joins the Authority, therefore getting the belt.
All right. James, your pick.
You remember Survivor Series 1998, the Deadly Games series?
Yep.
Whatever.
You know how...
Didn't Lance just reference that?
Yeah. But I see them different. I see Roman Reigns turning heel.
You know what? I'm
the
just
way they're booking him.
No, absolutely not. Because if they wanted to do that, they could have done that before Survivor Series. So I don't see that happening.
But remember, but here's the thing, though. 98. Remember, The Rock was full face until they find out. Oh, he joined the Authority.
But he wasn't offered the title. Let's move on, guys. We have a Divas match, and this is very controversial. It's Charlotte versus Paige, and this past Monday, it was a very controversial shoot, guys, and a lot of people felt it was kind of out of order for the bringing Charlotte Flair's brother, Reed Flair, his death where he passed away. I think it was last year. Andy, your thoughts on that?
I'm going to go for Reed Flair. I mean Charlotte Flair. Reed with boobs.
Oh wow, that's just
Wow.
so wrong on so many levels. Any hate mail, please send it to the son of a bitch. Billy, what's your picks?
Does anybody have any Tylenol right now? We definitely had a good lengthy discussion earlier today on WGS TV as to was the whole controversial nature of mentioning Reed Flair actually necessary to bring in more heat on the fire that is the feud between Charlotte and Paige. And just a short answer, yes, it was absolutely necessary. People may disagree with the usage of it. They may say, oh, that's ugly. But the thing is, when you have to know the ins and the outs of the wrestling industry, when you have to know that you need to bring a controversial moment, like saying something as as hideous as what Paige had to say about Reed Flair and Charlotte's little brother, it brings that factor of memorable moment.
Well,
It
okay,
brings more fire into it.
Well, all right. Since you're talking about that, who do you have for a win?
I'm gonna. On take two, I kind of said it was two sides of the same coin. I'm still gonna say that. I'm gonna say Charlotte retains.
All right. Bay, over to you.
Oh man, this is something I would have to take a pause on for a moment. But I'm gonna say Charlotte retains, and we're gonna see a whole lot of offense on Charlotte's part. So Paige, look out.
Yeah, I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. Charlotte's going to get the win, and I'm really looking forward to this to being a great match. If it's any inkling of the cat fight that they had on Raw, that was a badass. Lance, your pick.
It's on like a razor's edge for me, but just because I want to sleep with her, I'm going Paige.
I have a question I want to ask you guys. What are the chances of this matchup not having a clean finish? Like maybe Charlotte's Rage gets the better of her and she gets disqualified in the match. Basically, Paige would still win, but on the same token, Charlotte would retain
That's
the
a
title.
possibility.
It is
Yeah.
possible.
One person's got to show up because they've mentioned his son, fucking Dick Flair.
Wow.
Emphasis on the word Dick.
If something like that was to happen where Ric Flair is going to come out and talk to his daughter about it, I'm expecting that to happen on Raw. If they really take that storyline and really, expand on it, which I hope they don't, that's when I see it happening. Ric Flair being there at the Survivor Series, it's a give or take on that one. Let's move on. Now we're talking. This is supposed to be a 5-on-5 Survivor Series. No teams have been mentioned, and I don't even know how to call this one, guys. I mean, it's just. Unfortunately, this is one of those things where WWE has everything's up in the air. Also, our kickoff match. There's no assigned kickoff match, and the only things I can think of is maybe Dolph Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze, or the Usos and the New Day in a title match. Billy, which one would your pick be if you could pick one?
If I had to pick one, I would actually pick the New Day and the Usos. The Tyler Breeze and for that match to be on the main roster, to be a part of the main card show, I would definitely structure, since they really haven't put any story into the feud between Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler, and I think again it goes to what you said earlier about everything being flipped around because of the injury to Seth Rollins. If that hadn't happened, then I think they probably could have built up a more concise feud between these two, and because of the whole tournament thing, it's just been up in the air.
All right, James, over to you. If you could book your kickoff match, would you want to do Ziggler versus Breeze or the Usos versus New Day in a title match?
I'd rather see Breeze and Ziggler in a kickoff because really, New Day is basically your next top heel and that people wants to see and like boo and whatnot. So I'd say the tag team title should be on the main card while, Tyler Breeze and Ziggler, even though like they never had like much of a feud when the tournament started, that feud kind of tapered off. I see that more on the kickoff.
Yeah, it's possible. Andy, let me ask you, kickoff match. If you could put any two in for a match, well, or any match, how would you book it for the kickoff?
I'm gonna show you how predictable the WWE is. Stand by your notepads, boys and girls, and write this down. Kickoff match is going to be New Day, and the winner of the 5-on-5 match, who they haven't even picked any opponents yet, is Cesaro. Mark that down in your book. You don't even know if he's a player yet.
You think Team Cesaro, whatever they want to call it, could be it? That could be interesting. And Billy, your kickoff.
I think I've already talked about
Oh.
that.
All right, at that point. Will, who would you set up for a kickoff match?
Well, pretty much what James said. New Day is the top heels to watch. They don't disappoint. I would agree with James. I would say Ziggler versus Breeze because Summer Race is all eye candy, but at the end, this would make more sense. Put the Usos and New Day on the main roster, WWE. You got nothing to lose here.
Yeah, good point. And Lance, finally over to you.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of Dolph Ziggler. Going with Tyler Breeze makes sense, but honestly, since he's so green for the main roster, not saying, like I said, notice how I said for the main roster. I think his first pay-per-view up, put him on the pre-show.
Piss break.
Yeah, guys. Well,
it'd probably be a good match though.
Yeah. I want to ask one more question around the board before we wrap this up. Again, there was not really a lot of information we've had since this point. Sheamus. Do we see Sheamus trying to cash in at the main event? Andy, I'm going to start with you.
No. For how much they've used Sheamus, I don't even see him being in the pay-per-view. Full stop.
Wow. All right. Billy, real quick. Could you see Sheamus cashing in or even attempt to cash in?
Actually, yes. And let me tell you why. Because technically, Sheamus could be in contention to be that next top heel. And without even turning Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns heel, they could have him cash in on Roman Reigns or whoever wins the title and start a big face versus heel feud on that fashion.
Valid point. James, your thoughts? Do you see?
You know what I say? Roman Reigns could turn heel. That could be a second option. Sheamus could be the authority person, so he can cash in. Beat up Roman Reigns with the briefcase, cash in, and win.
And you know what? You brought up an interesting point because all last week on Raw, Triple H was trying to get people to be the quote-unquote new man, or I guess his lackey for the authority, and two people already kind of turned him down. Cesaro was one, and Roman Reigns was the other, and it just wasn't happening. So, Lance, let me ask you, Sheamus cashing in, yes or no?
An attempt, possibly, but an actual cash in and win, I don't see that because they would not do two cash ins at two of the big four in the same year. That'd be too predictable.
All right, and Will, finally over to you.
I really don't say much on Cesaro, but I hope at least he makes it to the pay-per-view. Because if he don't have Cesaro on the pay-per-view and the way he has Cesaro section, WWE get off the crack.
No. And Andy,
not WWE, Vince McMahon.
Yep. Andy.
Anyway.
Yeah. Andy, you picked up. You mentioned something about in the chat room about someone overlooking something, and one promised to hold the two belts. If I'm not mistaken, you're talking about Alberto Del Rio or Kevin Owens.
Fat boy bastard. Kevin
Really?
Owens.
Well, I think
Damn, tell them how you feel.
Everybody's saying, like, on the internet says Roman Reigns is going to win. Internet. And you know what Vince is like with the internet? Let's fuck all the internet guys up. What best way fuck all the internet guys up and give Kevin Owens the win?
Well, I just don't see it though. Holding two belts.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand.
Roman Reigns over the last 3 or 4 months, he's got the same sort of weight on his shoulders that Daniel Bryan had, and how many times was Daniel Bryan jerked off?
Yeah. And you know what, guys? We are going to wrap it up here. Right now, of course, we want to know your thoughts. What do you see who could be in the Survivor Series 5-on-5 match? What could be the kickoff match? So, if you don't, agree with us, put in your own, dream kickoff match. So,
Send
please.
it to Vince. If he hasn't done it yet.
have it involve New Jack just for the comedic purposes.
And with that, folks, we would love to have you take a few minutes of your time and just please like, share, and hit that subscribe button over at HWRShow on YouTube.com. As always, I'd like to thank my sidekick, my partner, son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at www.stokehaunted.com. I've got an investigation coming up on Saturday, and like Rick says, you can lick us or you can like us. We don't care.
I'm sure in Billy's case, he wants to be licked. Billy, where can people find
you?
After watching that video game the other week, I'm not surprised.
Billy, where can everyone find you? What do you got going on?
They can find me in the Federal Witness Protection Program. They can go on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. I got several Let's Plays going on right now of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. And, that the Bomb Diffusion game, Rick, that's the one we were having so much fun with the other day.
That game sucked. I'm sorry.
Is that a terrorist game? Nobody Explodes?
No. Basically, it's a puzzler type of game where you have to, for every module that's on a bomb, you have to solve that puzzle before you can defuse that bomb.
Okay.
Anyway, in Paris.
Moving on. I'd always like to thank Lance Moss. You're over at youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. Lance, what do you got going on?
I got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, rants, and every Wednesday night I go live at 8, 7 Central, and I'm not sure what it is on the West Coast. But, yeah. And, Billy, I do have a question for you. How's the girlfriend hunt going?
Oh, shut up.
Well, you lost the bet.
And if you want to know what that bet is, guys, go over to WGS TV on Facebook, and he actually posted it. Anyways, moving on. Will.
I hate you.
Will. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make sure not to promote your show next time. Will
says hi, Billy.
Oh, guys, it's been a fucking crazy night tonight. Jesus. Will.
Nick Old Bassie's just rung me for Billy's phone number.
Guys, this is how we roll over.
I hate you.
Guys, for those of you listening, this is how we roll over in HWR. We just digress and go way off fucking track all too many times. God, I must be high. Will, where can everyone find you? What do you got going on?
Well, I've been out for a while. I changed jobs again, but I'm pleased to be back at HWR. Glad the seat's still here, and happy holidays. If I don't hear from you guys again, and don't choke the turkey, right, James? You like that?
James, what's with you choking the chicken? James, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter at Fatboy504. I do retweets and random crap of whatever I feel at that moment. And also, you can find me on Twitch.tv, which I will be coming back on soon. Twitch.tv/Fatboy504, where I do PS4 gameplay for WWE 2K16, NBA 2K16, and Madden.
All right, guys. Well,
if you choke a turkey, what happens to the giblets?
Oh, Lord.
We'll find that out on our next show. And for the hardcore crew, I am your hardcore host, Rickhead, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Billy, you sick bastard.